talked much about writing on this channel, but I write as well. I've been writing since I was about 10, so I have over a decade of writing. I grow ever closer to 2 decades of writing, and I wanted to talk about the books that influenced my writing the most. One of the most influential books to my writing when I was younger is the Maximum Ride series by James Patterson. I started reading this series in the 7th grade and just fell in love with it. I loved the characters, I loved the storyline, and I loved the writing style. James Patterson is known for his style of writing very short chapters, rather short paragraphs, and because of that, his stories feel very fast-paced and very action-oriented, and it was something that I really enjoyed about it. So naturally, at the age of, 12? I started to emulate his style. I actually remember freshman year of high school, I took a creative writing class, and one of the first major critiques that I received was I didn't understand paragraphs, and I kind of blame James Patterson for that. I blame the Maximum Ride series because these paragraphs feel very short, very quick, and my 12-year-old brain just kind of thought that that's how you wrote paragraphs. You organize them in a way that makes it feel like the writing is fast, rather than organizing by subject matter. I have since course corrected, but it was hugely influential for me in my early writing days, was to split things up into very tiny, almost 1 to 2 sentence paragraphs, rather than letting the paragraphs be dominated by subject matter. This book was so hugely influential to me when I was a kid that later in high school, I wrote a book called Open My Eyes. Almost like fan fiction, but not at all. The only similarities is that there's a blind kid named Iggy in this series that I loved so much that I had to write about a blind kid named Iggy as well.
The character Fang was also pretty influential on me because he's very much the tall, dark, and brooding kind of character, and I was apparently really into that as a tween and teen because I tried to write male characters very similarly to how Fang is characterized in the Maximum Ride series. Not a whole lot of emotion, not a whole lot of words. Turns out that that's really tough for me to do.
I loved the names, I loved the writing style. This book dominated my early writing style choices, and to this day I am very sentimental and nostalgic for the Maximum Ride series by James Patterson. If you've perused my channel at all, or if you're returning, then you already know how much I talked about Twilight and how influential it was to me as a young tween teenager. And I think I already talked about how it influenced my writing as well, so I don't really want to talk about this one for too long, but when I read Twilight, it was amazing for me. I really loved how Stephenie Meyer seemed to capture the teen girl voice so well, and it really inspired my own writing and trying to get the voice of the narrator down. I just loved it so much, and since then I try to make sure that I craft my stories in ways, because I prefer first person, how they are as a character is reflected in the voice of the writing itself. And Stephenie Meyer, I believe, was a huge part in how dedicated I am to that now. I have every intention of talking about Monica Sands at length at some point in time, because Monica Sands is my favorite author of all time. I love her stuff so much. Monica Sands has started off as more of like an indie author, and I discovered her on Wattpad, and Finvarra Circus was the first book of hers that I read that just sealed the deal for me. I never knew the craft of writing, words themselves, could be so beautiful. If you read Monica Sands, Finvarra Circus, Witchling Academy series, you would understand why I struggled with Brandon Sanderson's writing style because this, oh my gosh, this to me is a masterpiece. Her writing style is gorgeous. I adore it. Yes, Finvarra's Circus specifically has some weaker points, but my gosh, when I read this, when I was like, I don't know how old I was when I first read it, it was, in terms of writing, life-altering. It was. I think I was 13 when I read this book, and I worked really hard on the book that I wrote when I was 13 to emulate it, and it forever changed how I write. I write a little bit more highbrow, more advanced vocabulary and flowery language, metaphor. This book changed the course of my writing forever, and it was through the experiment of forcing myself to, best I could at age 13, emulate the writing style of Finvarra's Circus that gave me my voice as an author. I'm not gonna say will forever be my style, but it feels like home to me now to write in a style that's close to Monica Sands. I don't ever dream of surpassing her because she's just magnificent at what she does. But Monica Sands and Finvarra's Circus just really emphasized what it is that I love about the craft of writing. You can pick words to paint pictures. It is art, and I love it so much. This Monica Sands I will recommend forever. Finvarra's Circus was my first book by her that I read that made me fall in love with the fantasy genre even more, and just the writing, it's a masterpiece to me. These are what I consider to be the 3 books that have shaped and defined my writing styles throughout the years for my nearly 2 decades of writing, and I am forever grateful to these books for setting me on the course that they have and influencing me the way that they did, and for making me fall in love not only with writing but also with reading. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun YouTuber stuff, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye! It makes such a difference when I talk about things that I actually enjoy. A little bit down. Bring my head down. If I could figure out where I placed my butt, that would be almost more helpful, I think. Aesthetic. I wonder if it caught that sound on camera because that was funny sounding. Okie dokie. This is gonna be a tougher video to record, I think. I haven't talked, gosh dang it, more advanced vocabulary. Oh my gosh. All that for that one take. Please tell me I hit record. I did, thank goodness. I just spit all over my own face.